and I go back to the top of the slide, and I stop and I turn and I go for a ride.
What if I told you that the earth-shaking power of hard rock didn't just appear overnight? Here's the truth. Hard rock wasn't born in the 70s like most people think. It was forged in the experimental fires of the 1960s by artists who dared to turn their amplifiers to 11 and break every rule the music industry had written. These 10 songs didn't just influence hard rock, they created its DNA, and today you're going to discover exactly how each one carved out a piece of rock and roll history that still echoes through every power chord played today. 1. You Really Got Me, The Kinks, 1964.
Girl, you really got me going. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing.
The story of hard rock begins with a razor blade and a speaker cone. Ray Davies of the Kinks was frustrated with the clean, polite sound coming from his amplifier, so he took a razor blade and slashed his speaker cone to create distortion. When You Really Got Me exploded onto the airwaves in 1964, that raw, aggressive guitar sound hit listeners like a lightning bolt. The song's power chord progression became the foundation that countless hard rock anthems would build upon, and that deliberately damaged amplifier sound became the holy grail every rock guitarist would chase for decades to come. 2. My Generation, The Who. 1965. From damaged speakers, we moved to deliberately destroyed instruments. The Who took the raw energy the Kinks had unleashed and weaponized it with pure teenage rebellion. My Generation didn't just feature aggressive guitar work, it culminated in complete instrumental chaos. With Pete Townshend literally destroying his equipment on stage. This wasn't just music anymore. It was a statement of defiance that showed hard rock would be as much about attitude and spectacle as it was about sound. The song's stuttering vocals and explosive climax created a template for the confrontational energy that would define hard rock for generations. 3. Satisfaction, The Rolling Stones, 1965. While The Who was smashing guitars, the Rolling Stones were crafting the ultimate hard rock anthem with a different kind of destruction, social rebellion wrapped in an irresistible riff. Keith Richards' iconic guitar line for Satisfaction came to him in a dream. And when he woke up, he had accidentally created one of the most recognizable and influential riffs in rock history. The song's driving rhythm and sneering attitude showed that hard rock could be both commercially successful and dangerously subversive, proving that heavy music didn't have to hide in the underground to make an impact. 4. House of the Rising Sun, The Animals, 1964.
A house in New Orleans, they call the rising sun.
The Animals proved that hard rock could be built on more than just original compositions. Their electrifying version of the traditional folk song, House of the Rising Sun, transformed a gentle acoustic ballad into a thunderous electric epic that stretched over 4 minutes, an eternity in the radio-friendly early 60s. Eric Burdon's powerful vocals combined with the band's dramatic arrangement showed that hard rock could be both heavy and sophisticated, creating emotional depth that went far beyond simple rebellion. This track demonstrated that the new heavy sound could enhance storytelling rather than overwhelm it. 5. Wild Thing, The Trogs, 1966. Sometimes the most revolutionary music comes from the simplest ideas. The Trogs' Wild Thing stripped rock and roll down to its most primitive elements, a basic 3-chord progression, minimal lyrics, and maximum attitude. What made this song groundbreaking wasn't its complexity, but its raw, unpolished energy that sounded like it was recorded in a garage. This deliberately rough approach influenced countless hard rock bands who realized that technical perfection wasn't as important as emotional impact, paving the way for the garage rock movement that would explode in the following decades. 6. Paint It Black, The Rolling Stones, 1966.
See a red door as I want it painted black.
The Rolling Stones return to our list with perhaps their darkest and most innovative creation. Paint It Black introduced hard rock to exotic instruments like the sitar, while maintaining a driving, aggressive rhythm that felt both mysterious and menacing. The song's minor key progression and apocalyptic lyrics showed that hard rock could explore psychological darkness and cultural experimentation simultaneously. This track proved that the genre could be both heavy and sophisticated, incorporating world music influences while maintaining its rebellious edge. 7. For What It's Worth, Buffalo Springfield, 1966.
Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Buffalo Springfield's For What It's Worth might seem like an unlikely candidate for a hard rock foundation, but its influence on the genre's development was profound. The song's haunting guitar work and socially conscious lyrics showed that hard rock could be a vehicle for serious political commentary, not just teenage rebellion. The track's atmospheric tension and Neil Young's distinctive guitar tone would later influence the development of grunge and alternative rock, proving that hard rock's roots extended far beyond simple power chords and aggressive vocals. 8. I Can See for Miles, The Who, 1967. The Who appears twice on this list because they were simply that important to hard rock's development. I Can See for Miles represented a quantum leap in production techniques, featuring layers of distorted guitars and explosive dynamics that had never been heard before. Pete Townshend's innovative use of feedback and distortion created a wall of sound that influenced everyone from Jimmy Page to Eddie Van Halen. The song's combination of pop sensibility and sonic aggression showed that hard rock could be both accessible and experimental. 9. Purple Haze, Jimi Hendrix, 1967.
All in my brain. Many things that don't seem the same.
When Jimi Hendrix unleashed Purple Haze on the world, he didn't just create a song, he redefined what the electric guitar could do. Hendrix's revolutionary use of feedback, distortion, and effects pedals turned the guitar into a completely new instrument, capable of sounds that seemed to come from another planet. The song's psychedelic lyrics and otherworldly guitar work showed that hard rock could be both heavy and transcendent, opening up new possibilities for musical expression that artists are still exploring today. 10. Helter Skelter, The Beatles, 1968.
Coming down fast, but I'm miles above you.
The Beatles, the band that defined the decade's pop sensibility, closed out the 60s by creating what many consider the first true heavy metal song. Helter Skelter was Paul McCartney's attempt to create the loudest, most aggressive song possible, and the result was a sonic assault that made everything else on this list sound tame by comparison. The song's relentless drive and distorted guitars created a template that Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, and Deep Purple would follow into the 1970s, proving that even the most unlikely artists could contribute to hard rock's evolution. These 10 songs didn't just influence hard rock, they created it from scratch, taking the innocent pop music of the early 60s and transforming it into something powerful enough to shake the foundations of society itself. Each track on this list contributed a crucial element to hard rock's DNA. Whether it was the Kinks' distorted aggression, The Who's destructive spectacle, or Hendrix's revolutionary guitar techniques. The next time you hear a modern rock song, remember that every power chord, every feedback-drenched solo, and every rebellious lyric can trace its lineage back to these 10 groundbreaking tracks. Hard rock wasn't born in the 70s. It was forged in the experimental fires of the 1960s by artists brave enough to break every rule and create something entirely new. If this journey through hard rock's origins opened your eyes to the genre's true history, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the music that changed everything. And tell me in the comments, which of these songs do you think had the biggest impact on hard rock's development? Your answer might surprise you once you really think about it.